Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to properly configure your interrupt so you can have a low latency system. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe as I will be posting more videos like this on Saturdays at 1 p.m. East. So basically when it comes to your CPU receiving inputs from its devices, there are two methods that it does this. One is called line-based interrupts and the other one is called message signal-based interrupts, which is also known as MSI mode. So when it comes to line-based interrupts, this is a method that was introduced a long time ago and is still used in computers today. But basically, you have an IRQ line, which is like a path between your devices and your CPU or an interrupt controller. And there are multiple devices on this line. It could be your keyboard, your hard drive, your mouse, timers, etc. And whenever your device sends an input, it will notify the interrupt controller, which will notify the CPU, and your CPU will check the IRQ line and poll all the devices within that line to see which one needs attention, and then process whatever signal that gets sent from whichever device that sent it in the first place. So later on, there was a newer method of interrupt handling that was introduced called message signal based interrupts, known as MSI mode. And the way this works is it gives each device its own IRQ, and whenever it wants to send an input, it writes a message in a special memory address that gets sent to the CPU and lets it get notified that this device wants this input and then processes it directly. Whereas with line based, if a device wanted a certain input, it would basically ring the IRQ line, which has so much devices in it, and your CPU would have to process and poll each device to see which input it wants. Whereas with MSI, it could just tell automatically that this device wants this input and process it directly since it has its own IRQ and is sending its own special message in an address that's located in your memory. Now to actually configure your interrupt handling and choose whether between you want line-based or MSI mode, you basically want to join my Discord server, which will be linked in the description below. And then once you're in here, you want to head over to the programs channel and you'll want to scroll all the way up. I posted this on January 20th of 2024. And in here you can see the article that was on just now that explains this further if you want to learn more about it. But you want to download MSI Utility v3 right here and put it on your desktop or somewhere safe where you can open it. Now once you have MSI Utility downloaded, you want to right click it and click Run as Administrator. In here you're going to see a whole bunch of different things. Down here are your device properties. Up here are your devices. IRQ is just your IRQs. MSI is MSI mode, limit, max limit, supported modes, and interrupt priority. Now in here, you want to see your supported modes. Anything that has MSI right here, you could generally check MSI mode on for it. And under name, you might also see like a whole bunch of different devices. My one is pretty empty because I disabled all of those extra devices and I only have the ones that I really need enabled. So if yours is empty like mine, that's great. If it's not, you don't have to worry about it. But in here, you can see the IRQ that your device is set to. If you have MSI mode on and you restarted your PC, you should see your IRQ turn negative, meaning that it's enabled. If you have your IRQ that's a positive number right here, like for my Realtek controller and my USB controller, that means that it's using line-based interrupts. And you can also tell this because they have the same IRQ number, meaning that they're sharing the same line. And if I want to enable MSI mode, I would basically check this box under both of them and then click apply. Now you see the general recommendation is to just enable MSI for everything that you possibly can, and when it comes to interrupt priority, leave everything on undefined as well and let the system handle it. But there's a special case where if you don't have many devices like me and you disable a lot of the extra ones, you can actually, if you have an Intel USB controller, put MSI mode off and use line-based interrupts and just make sure that it's not sharing any IRQ with any other devices. Like for example, my IRQ for my USB controller right now is on 16 and there's nothing else using 16 right here, so it's perfectly fine for me to use line-based interrupts. And in that case, I can set the priority to high to boost it a little bit and then click apply. If you do have an AMD USB controller, I just recommend turning MSI enabled and leaving it on undefined. It's only a special case with Intel USB controllers where you could do that. Now when it comes to the performance impact of MSI mode enabled and disabled when it comes to games, here you can see I measured the FPS with MSI mode disabled on the bottom, MSI mode enabled with high priority in the middle, and then MSI mode enabled with all priorities on undefined on the top. And as you can see, a lot of these benchmarks are within margin of error. And the reason for this is because when it comes to line-based interrupts, like I said, your devices are basically sharing an IRQ line that your CPU pulls. And as you saw in my system, I didn't have that much devices enabled, so I didn't have that much IRQ sharing going on. So if you're on a system that has a bunch of devices with a lot of IRQ sharing, you might get a large performance impact, and you might see a visible FPS decrease or increase depending on what you do. But for me, the performance impact when it comes to FPS is really negligible. But when it comes to latency, which I'm going to show you just now, it's really beneficial keeping MSI mode enabled for whatever you can. Now looking at our system benchmarks, you can see with MSI mode enabled, our highest interrupted process latency was 33.2, whereas with it disabled it was 53.2, which is a pretty significant difference. You can also see it with our highest interrupted DBC latency at 31.9 with MSI mode enabled, whereas with it disabled we had 52, which is also pretty significant. You can see our results with MSI mode on high priority as well. It was a little bit worse than MSI mode enabled, but you can still see the benefit with having both of them enabled right here compared to disabled. Now on the bottom right here, this is something that we should care more about, which is our average measured interrupted process latency. With MSI mode enabled, it was at 2.15, whereas with it disabled, it was at 2.4. And then with our average interrupted DBC latency, it was at 0.84, whereas with it disabled, it was at 0.945, which is also a pretty significant difference as well. That's really it I have for you guys in today's video. If you have a certain configuration with MSI mode enabled at certain priorities or disabled, let me know in the comments what works best for you. If you enjoy these videos, I want to see more like this, make sure to like and subscribe, as I will be posting my videos like this on Saturdays at 1 p.m. East. But that's it I have for you guys today. See you in the next one.